Hi everyone! This week your project is to invent your own musical instrument, to create something that no one has ever created before. I want you to think about, what would your instrument sound like? How should it be played? How should it be constructed, meaning how should it be made? You can draw your instrument on paper, or you can look around and find materials outside or from around your house and actually build this brand new instrument that you're going to invent. Now, I'm really curious to learn about your process, so I want to know, why did you choose the parts that you chose? How did you put them all together? Did you maybe try something that didn't work so well at first and you had to problem solve and try something else instead? So I'd love to see your finished instrument, and I'd also love to learn about how you made it. I made an instrument here that I'm going to show you in just a second. It's called Miss Burkle's Super Duper Awesome Tea Drinking Whatchamajigger. Now, your instrument might be a little more simple than this. It might be far more complicated than this too. I made this just as an example to give you some ideas to get started, but there's really no right or wrong way to go about doing this project. So, for my instrument, I was curious to explore the idea of the pendulum. That's how my instrument is played. It's by swinging this piece back and forth. This is the part of my instrument that is the pendulum. This is a piece of yarn, and then I just tied a rock at the bottom of it. The yarn is hanging from a frame that I just made out of some sticks that I found in the woods. And to pick some different objects down here that the rock is going to hit, I chose 5 different things that are all related to drinking tea, because Miss Burkle happens to really like drinking tea. So here I have a ceramic mug, and when I let the pendulum swing and hit the mug gently, that's the sound that you hear. I also have a metal spoon. You could use that metal spoon to stir your tea. And that's what it sounds like when the rock hits my spoon. Ooh, my Tupperware is moving around a little bit. But you get sort of a thud plastic sound when the rock hits this Tupperware. Maybe you could use that Tupperware to store your tea. This is a tin that used to have some tea in it. When there was actually tea inside of it, it was more of a thud sort of a sound. But I didn't like that so much. I also tried having the rock hit the lid of the tin like this, which was fine, sort of a different sound. I happen to really like when the back of the tin is open, so this is hollow here. It's just a really sort of clangy, tinny sound, and I really enjoy that. So that's why I chose to take the lid of the tin off. And last but not least, this is the box that used to have some tea in it, and you get more of a thud sort of drum sound this way. So I had to, first of all, really practice so that I could get good at having the pendulum hit the instrument that I wanted it to hit. Sometimes I would try to have it hit the spoon, but it would hit the plastic instead, that kind of thing. I also had to try a few things. When I was hitting this box, the box doesn't weigh very much, so the box kept on sliding back and back and back, so I had to put this rock on top of it to get it to stay put. Another thing I was initially going to try, I was going to have Mr. Honey here be the plasticky sound, but then I realized it wouldn't be very nice to hit Mr. Honey in the head with a rock, so I decided he could be an audience. It's always nice to have an audience. So he's sitting over here. He is drinking his tea right here, and he's reading a book. So I have a little audience over here. I'm going to come around this way because it's a little easier to play my instrument at this angle. And I'm going to give you a tiny little concert. And a 1, and a 2, and here we go. And plastic, and spoon, and ceramic, and tin, and box. Whoops. And box. Oh, well, Miss Burkle needs to practice a little bit more clearly. Last thing I want to show you guys, sometimes when you're done playing your instrument, you want to put it away. I decided you can't really put this away in a case or anything like you could put a trumpet away in a case, but I decided to use this little clothespin here to tuck that right there. That way if the wind comes along or squirrel comes along, they can't mess with my pendulum. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really curious to see what you guys are going to create. And again, I'd love to see why you made the choices that you made. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me by email. Thanks so much, guys.